Daily Feed Live. My name is Kyle Meredith. We're here in sunny Austin, Texas with JJ Gray. How's it going, man?
Great.
This is South by Southwest. We're here at Sony City. Want to thanks to Sony, their own sponsor, Gentleman Jack, as well. JJ, you're about to come out with a new record called This River.
Yep, in April.
Yeah. What is this now? What is this, album number, I don't know, 500?
I don't know.
You've been doing this for a while.
6 or 7, something like that. I can't remember.
It's amazing to hear you every single time. I've heard you talk a little bit about this record. And the term, I guess, that is really interesting is that you've been saying it's being your own worst enemy.
Well, yeah, in a way. There's plenty of that in there. And I'm a champion of being my own worst enemy. So is I guess a subject that came easy. So.
Yeah, what does that mean, though? Is this like a self-sabotaging type of thing, or?
Well, I don't think I'm a self-saboteur, but I guess nobody does. It's kind of like I don't think I'm an alcoholic. Well, most alcoholics don't. So
professional drinker.
Yeah, I think it's more of a thing of balancing the real world against the way you think the world should be. And how much of that's going to tear you apart and tear you down, and how much of it's going to be, something that you take from and learn from and move on,
You've been writing, well, I guess the whole way you write, as you say, is through characters. You write through a lot of character songs. Of course, I'm guessing there's autobiography in those characters.
Yeah. Well, most of them are either me or somebody I know, most of the time, So, or a composite character of me and a friend of mine, or whatever,
Right.
Stuff together.
When you're doing that, though, on the lyrics, do you got to get in a certain headspace to say, this is the story I'm imagining, this is the the plot line, or whatever it may be?
No, it just does itself. I don't do anything. I don't set aside time to write songs. I don't go into my studio and work. I only go in there to record things that I've already kind of figured out what I'm going to do. Most of it just, if I'm riding along in the car, or just when you least expect it, when you've gotten dressed and you're getting ready to go grocery shopping, you're waiting on everybody else to get ready, and then a song comes and you run, grab a guitar, and now you can grab a phone or whatever and record it. But used to, you just forgot everything. Most of it probably should have been forgotten, a lot of the stuff that I forgot, but it just comes when it comes. Do it, roll with it.
That's kind of the hardship of being always writing on the job, too, is you have to stop everything.
Yeah.
Or forget about it.
Yeah.
Or it's gone. This River was recorded live, right?
Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, all the albums have maybe a track or two that was done that way. But we all got in the same room together, and which is, kind of tricky because the studio is it's big enough, but that's a lot of gear in there when we're all in there, So.
That's been something you've been kind of working towards more and more with each record, is just try to do it as live as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
The technique of recording, it's kind of interesting the way that pendulum swings through the decades, too. When you look back at the 80s, even favorite artists, Dylan, Springsteen, they're recording. You hear those records, and they definitely sound of the decade, so studio produced. And then it swings back the other way with live recording. What do you think that is, that temptation to always, because when you're recording live, it seems like you are kind of doing the truest form.
Yeah, well, for me, it's a thing of my favorite records are all cut live. All the Motown, all the Stax stuff, all the Muscle Shoals stuff. Most of the records I love are cut mostly live, and you can multi-track, or whatever you want to call it, overdub a record and make a whole record just from overdub, and it'd be cool. But there's something that's also wonderful about having people in a room play off each other. Things happen that wouldn't happen if each person was just individually laying down stuff. In the past, I've gotten me, a bass player, and a drummer in the room, and just good on all the tracks, and then added everybody else in, and then pick 1 or 2 tracks and play live. But this time, I just I want to have everything ready, good to go the first time. So, and playing with guys that I get to play with, I'm lucky enough to be able to play with these guys, man, and they man, you could just show them the chord changes and say, this is the song, and then they play it right then. It's done.
It's nice being with professionals.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard you say recently that, and I'm a kind of a kindred spirit in this one, too. You don't like watching the news. You don't watch the news.
No, not really. I don't know what's going on. Somebody called me and said a friend of mine got arrested because of some 57 people being arrested in some scandal with something to do with Jacksonville and Oklahoma's big. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But it's really interesting when you tell somebody you don't watch the news, like, how do you keep up? How do you keep up? But why do you know?
I don't need to
It's like the
keep
big
up,
news
man.
gets to you, right? It eventually gets to you. And there's this thing, I guess, I look at on the news where everyone says, if I hear it, that's the truth.
Yeah, well, you know, and the whole thing of a friend of mine was like, well, you got to know. I'm like, I ain't got to do a damn thing, man. And on top of that, he's like, well, what if tanks are coming down your street? And I'm like, then I'll deal with it the same way. Either way, I'll wait till that happens. I ain't going to sit around and cry about what could or might or should or not. Just deal with what is, man. Let it go.
It's a great way of putting it. Once again, this river out in April, you have an amazing career. I know you've got a backup career working with barbecue sauce. So
I don't know about all that, man.
if this music career thing doesn't work out, we can still taste your flavor.
If it doesn't work out, I'm going to work for Caterpillar on diesel engines or something.
Don't blame you. All right, JJ, thank you so much.
Thank you.